mean is much better.
Oh, okay. Acronyms. So that when ASAP came up yesterday, that was basically, and these are the ones that you would see in the Bangkok Post today. These, I'm sure maybe somewhere in the YMCA and other things, but these two were in the front page of the Bangkok Post this morning. So obviously they are being, okay, that's it, that's right. Okay, stay organized. FDIC. Like FBI, CIA, yeah, they're all acronyms. Okay, where were we? All right, right, okay. I hope these pens work. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we can do with this one. While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me My index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed. While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. Whoa. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and my finger healed. Go ahead. See.
While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
Right, very good. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained.
Right.
I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed. Go ahead. Go ahead.
While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
Good. While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the
While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball and the swelling went down and the finger
healed. And the finger healed. Sprained. Swelling. Softball.
Softball.
Right.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Why? Yes.
Oh, ready? Ready?
While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
Very good, very good. Whoa. Very good. Excellent. Go ahead. Very
While
good.
playing a game of ball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
Very good. That's exactly right. Very good. Go ahead.
While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
Right. Very good. Very good. Go ahead.
While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
Right. Very good. Go ahead.
Playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained.
Right.
I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
Yeah, right. Good. Sprain. That's like brain, sprain. Go ahead.
While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. The doctor told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
That's exactly right. Softball, swelling, finger, healed. Good. Okay.
While playing softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
Right. Very good. You got that? Go ahead.
While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down, injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
Healed. Right. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed. Very good. Go ahead.
While playing a game of softball last summer, I fell down and injured my hand. I went to see a doctor who told me my index finger was broken and my wrist was sprained. I would have to stay away from softball until the swelling went down and the finger healed.
Oh, very good. Good job. Okay. While playing a game of softball, does anybody here play softball?
Softball.
Same football.
What?
Same football.
Baseball.
Baseball, netball.
The difference, all there are are several differences, but the biggest difference between baseball, the ball is more or less like this, big, and the softball is like that. And it's obviously, in baseball, they use what they call a hard ball, and obviously in softball, it's a softball. But believe me, it's not soft. It's, if you get hit with it, it's like hitting with a rock. It's not soft at all, they just call it that. Last summer, I fell down and injured or hurt my shoulder, because more or less like you would fall down maybe and boom, oh, you know, and injured or hurt my hand. I didn't know what happened. So I decided, well, it's really hurt, so I think I went to see a doctor who said, you've broken your index finger. Which is the index finger? Oh, right, I forgot. Sorry, I forgot. Anyway, my index, and actually I did break my little finger twice, but for real, but this time. So my index finger was broken, bone cracked, and my wrist was sprained. Sprained, what is it?
Sprained.
Swollen, it swells up, instead of like it would, you didn't break it, but you damaged the muscle and the tendons in your wrist, and it's, the doctor said I would have to stay away, stop playing, until the swelling goes down, back to normal, no swelling, and the finger was healed. Oh yeah, I feel better now. I think I can start playing again. Any questions about this? To swell is to grow larger. Larger, because you've hurt your arm down, you begin to swell. It's if you fell on your arm on the floor really hard, you would start to see maybe swelling here, maybe, or on your wrist. In this case, the swelling was on my wrist because I twisted it when I hit the ground, and it starts to swell. I'm sure you've been fallen down at some time as a child or whatever, and you've had swelling on your leg or on your knee or on your wrist or whatever. To swell, to grow larger. In this case, it's not so good. You could say even the crowd
Finger healed.
swelled.
The crown swell.
Yeah, you could say that suppose there was a motor accident on the street, and certain people stood there. Then a couple minutes later, more people. And all of a sudden, the crowd at the site of the motor accident began to swell. Larger, larger, larger crowd. Number of people. Swell, to grow larger. To get bigger. The crowd swelled. There was, at the moment of the accident, there were 10 people standing watching. 5 minutes later, there were 200 people standing watching. The crowd swelled. Or grew larger, got bigger. Same type of thing.
What difference for sprained and swelling?
Sprained and swelling. Well, a sprain. The sprain is the injury that you've done as a result of spraining your wrist, falling and crashing into the ground. You've damaged your wrist. You've sprained it, and as a result, your wrist will begin to swell. Not this big, but you know, you get the idea. So you've sprained it, but and then as a result of the spraining, it swells. Actually, this actually protect it's a natural way of protecting the damage, protecting your wrist. Healed. In other words, you had, let's say it was this finger, you broke it. There's a cast. The doctor put a cast. So you walk around like this. 3 weeks. But after 3 weeks, you go back to the doctor, he takes the cast off, and you're, my finger healed. I'm much better now. I think I'll go back to playing softball. Healed, got better. If you were sick and you healed, you became better.
Get over.
Yeah, healed.
You get over it.
Yeah, I have a broken finger, now I don't have a broken finger. Because my finger healed. Healed. To heal the wound. To have the wound go away so that you're not hurt anymore. Got better. The finger is back to the way it was before I fell on the ground. Healed. About this one?
No.
Okay. Softball.
Softball.
Anybody ever play that here?
No.
Did they play softball in Bangkok?
My friends. No.
Oh, they do? Because I played on a team. I played on a team here once, so I know they do. Years ago.
They play on the beach.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, one time I went to the U.S. Embassy, and years ago, I was visiting with the deputy ambassador, and the ambassador, I am understanding, Mr. Martin, that you are a softball player. I said, yes, sir. I am. He said, would you mind playing for our team this afternoon? I said, so I came there, and next thing you know, I'm back for the embassy. I was unexpected, but there it was. I don't understand. Okay. No questions? Then we'll move ahead. Let's hope any of this anytime soon. Okay, these are words that come up from time to time, not always in a good situation, they do come up. Apology.
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 In this case, it's apology. There is a word apologist, but this is apology.
Apology.
Excuse.
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 Not accuse. Excuse.
Excuse. Excuse. Excellent.
Accuse. Excuse.
Excuse.
Regret.
Regret.
Regrets. I have few, but they're too few to mention. Remember that? Anyway, regret, and now sympathy.
Sympathy.
Sympathy. Condolences.
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 Let's hope we don't have to use that word anytime soon.
Condolences.
Does anyone know the meaning of any one of those words?
Apology and excuse quite the same.
That's tricky. That's kind of tricky. And excuse. No, they're not the same.
That's it.
You can give an excuse that may not be an apology. Anyway, Who said that? You? Sorry? Yeah, in a way. Everybody's studying and practicing English. You come in 10 minutes late. Sorry. My apologies for showing up late. I apologize. I'm sorry for what I did. I came late. I missed, I forgot. She would stand here and I would get 10 and I would hand them back to her and she'd take them. Then I'd get 10 more. Late for class. It will never happen again. Then the next day, late again. So, an apology is a comment. You can write an apology, written apology, maybe send it. But most of the time, an apology is verbal in the sense of spoken. I am sorry for what happened. I did not mean to show up late. The next thing comes the excuse. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to show up late. My excuse. I did not bring my homework today. Why not? The dog ate it. Whoa! The excuse. The reason why something happened. Sometimes the excuse is true. Maybe the dog did eat the homework. Or maybe you just decided, I've got to tell him something. What can I tell? Oh, the dog ate the homework. The excuse. The reason why something incorrect happened. This is my reason why I'm late. The dog ate the homework. That actually happened to me, in a sense. The dog. I was about to leave, this is a long time ago, I was about to leave I was about to fly from Philadelphia to Fort Sill, Oklahoma in the southwest, about a 4-hour flight. And I was in my Army uniform. It was my first day reporting to my assignment at the Army base, Fort Sill. And I was at my brother's house in Philadelphia. Very nice dog. But I had a cat, a military cat. And I was about to leave. I had to go back into the other room for something, so I took the hat and placed it on the table. And then I went out of the room. And then I came back, and my brother's dog was eating the hat. He had chewed through the whole hat. So I'm in full uniform, ready to go to the airport, and no cat. So I had to go to a place that, oh, it was hard. I couldn't believe it. The hat. But anyway, I had to go get another hat. It took me I had to skip go the next day on the plane because I couldn't make it. But that was my excuse. The dog ate my hat. I had to apologize to the commanding officer when I showed up a day late. But I didn't say the dog ate my hat. Ooh, doesn't sound too good, does it? I just said missed the flight. Took it on myself. Anyway. What?
Regret.
Regret. What is regret? Regret, yeah, to feel sorry for doing a certain thing. Regrets, I have a few to mention. The song. Anyway, to regret is to feel sorry for a certain action. I accidentally bumped you in the head. Well, actually, I did that just here at the Ramada Hotel last year. Did I tell you that? About how I hit the girl in the head? Did I tell you that? Yeah. I go into the shop at the Ramada. There's a young lady that's the attendant. And I said, I need to buy some postcards. She said, how many? I said, about 50 or 60. Okay, there they are right there. So they were up, they were back.